Ladies and gentlemen, nobody is noticing this about the Colts rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson. You will be shocked to know who he's working with this year, and it's going to make you think a little bit differently about his expectations. And we're also going to get into what he himself had to say after finding out that he has become the starting quarterback. Does he even sound confident in himself? We also have a positive update on Jonathan Taylor, the running back of the Colts, and we're going to take a look at this Indianapolis team, and could it be one of the more sleeper teams, even though it has an owner who loves to party.
While intoxicated and possession of a controlled substance, police say they found several prescription drugs in his vehicle. The Colts released a statement saying the team continues to fully support its boss.
What you do, I want you to follow the tip-by-tip with your eyes only, okay? But I need you to stand over here. Okay, keep falling backwards. I know. That's because my hip.
I know you guys, and you got more in the tank, okay?
Yeah, we do.
Like 31 points, maybe, you know.
So Anthony Richardson was selected number 4 overall in the 2023 draft. And breaking news today, he has been named the Colts starting quarterback this year. And I think it's not a shocker. Gardner Minshew is sitting behind him. Some people thought maybe Minshew would play out this season. He spent some time as a backup with the Indianapolis Colts last year. So he has a relationship with head coach Shane Steichen and knows the guy, and he likely knows his role, and obviously it's going to be Anthony Richardson's show. The dude was selected number 4 overall. You don't select a guy that high in the draft unless he's going to play week 1. Anthony Richardson is not the only rookie QB who's going to start. You got Bryce Young, who also won Carolina's starting quarterback job, even though the guy is tiny as hell. And CJ Stroud, he threw a pick on his opening drive, but he is expected to start again in this upcoming preseason game, and he'll likely be the starter for the Houston Texans. And then you got Anthony Richardson there starting for the Colts. Will Levis is still duking it out with Malik Willis to be the number 2 quarterback on the Tennessee Titans. And it's so crazy to see how the Colts have shuffled through so many quarterbacks ever since Andrew Luck randomly retired, and that was super crazy. We don't realize how intense that was. Randomly during a preseason game, Andrew Luck dips out and says, "I'm gone forever." Maybe it had something to do with Josh McDaniels dipping out of the Colts head coaching job last minute. But either way, ever since 2018, the Colts have been shuffling with quarterbacks. And then you had Jacoby Brissett be the quarterback in 2019, Phillip Rivers the quarterback in 2020. And by the way, we almost got Phillip Rivers again towards the end of last year in the Super Bowl. The Niners recently confirmed Kyle Shanahan, the head coach, that if they would have beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, they were going to call up Phil Rivers because all of their quarterbacks were injured, and Phil Rivers was going to come back and try to win a bowl. That would have been hilarious. And then the Colts tried Carson Wentz towards the end of 2021, almost made a playoff run there, and then he had Matt Ryan last year, who's now going to be in the broadcasting booth. And now it is the Anthony Richardson era. From here on out, this dude will likely be starting the next 4 years, and it's going to be a dramatically different style of football than we have seen from the Indianapolis Colts ever. This freaking guy is a physical freak. We know he was doing backflips at the NFL Combine, and it's not only the backflips that are crazy about Anthony Richardson, but it is the fact that he is doing this at 255 pounds. This dude is literally the heaviest starting QB in the NFL. You got people like Nick Foles who are in the 240s, and Joe Flacco, they're in the 240s, but no other starting QB is this heavy and this fast. This guy is even more athletic than Cam Newton, who is a physical freak in his prime. And think about this. Anthony Richardson is heavier than Derrick Henry. Just wrap your mind around that. And maybe that is why Anthony Richardson was able to do things like this. Truck a freaking cornerback in this past preseason game against the Bills. Boom! You could definitely see that weight there. And what do you know? Anthony Richardson has some swagger. He also has some hip-hop tracks out, man. It ain't too bad. I like the vocoder, but do whatever you want to do off the football field as long as you can run the ball and make throws like this. That's been the question for Anthony Richardson, and he dropped a dime in this past preseason game against the Buffalo Bills. The Colts are going to utilize this guy's feet, but if he can make some key throws, then he could be a dynamic weapon that shocks the AFC South. Like we said earlier, Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles last year, helped Jalen Hurts be a great rushing quarterback, put put him in some comfortable positions, and that allowed Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles to make the Super Bowl. So this head coach is the perfect offensive mind for Anthony Richardson. Can Anthony Richardson become Jalen Hurts 2.0? And you're getting word that Jonathan Taylor is going to be back at training camp. He was upset about his contract situation with the Indianapolis Colts. Jim Irsay, the Colts owner, had to make some comments about it too. I don't know if the guy had a little too much scotch or whiskey and ended up tweeting stuff about Jonathan Taylor. Jim Irsay, when Jonathan Taylor was requesting a trade, had to make this trippy ass comment on Twitter that he has since deleted. If I die tonight and Jonathan Taylor is out of the league, no one's gonna miss us. The league goes on. It doesn't matter who comes. And that is some weird stuff for Jonathan Taylor when the owner of your team is making these weird ass tweets in the middle of the night. I don't know how drunk Jim Irsay was to have this type of existential crisis online for everybody to see. But whatever the hell he did, it must have worked, because it seems like Jonathan Taylor is going to be back at training camp. And hey, Jonathan Taylor is going to have another year left on his contract. This is his second to last year, but he will be the perfect complementary weapon to Anthony Richardson. They're going to be able to do that read option play. Who's going to keep the ball, Taylor or Anthony Richardson? Defenses are going to be shook. And the Colts also picked up Kenyon Drake, who spent some time with the Ravens last year and had previously been with the Las Vegas Raiders. I think this guy could be a great complementary piece for the Indianapolis Colts. You got Jonathan Taylor as your power back. Kenyon Drake is good in the receiving game, and he did great last year with Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley running that read option game. And you still have Michael Pittman Jr. there, Alec Pierce, and Isaiah McKenzie, the former Buffalo Bill. He's always been productive in his career. And the Colts offensive line has always been good. It's always been productive. So outside of a few question marks at wide receiver and maybe a question mark at quarterback, this team is at least going to have a great run game and has high upside to really catch you slipping in the red zone and sneak away with some victories. And the front seven of this defense has always been productive. You still have DeForest Buckner there at defensive tackle, and you also have Kwity Paye, the edge rusher. And even though the secondary is still unproven, you still have Kenny Moore, who's an absolute beast. And Gus Bradley has remained the defensive coordinator, even though Shane Steichen took over as head coach. And I think that's a smart decision by the Colts, because I really do believe in Gus Bradley's defense. I like the cover 3 style, and wherever he goes, he makes the defense better. He even helped save the Raiders defense for a little bit in 2021. But Anthony Richardson, when it was announced that he would be the starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, he was asked about it and had quite a strange response.
Honestly, I was shocked. I've been grinding, putting in work just to, get the title, but, I'm just trying to make sure I'm ready for the team. Despite, being labeled as QB1, I still got other guys in the room helping me, get to that standard, so.
And I don't know if this guy's just trying to be humble. Based on those rap music videos he makes, he seems like he likes to be a little flashy. But with regards to football, he's trying to put this message out there that he has a lot to learn. And I found it very odd that he said he was shocked that he was named the starter. Maybe this guy did not expect to start so soon. And maybe he really did believe that Gardner Minshew would be the guy this year while he could learn. Think about it. When he was a Florida Gator, the dude only played 15 games in college football. And inside the NFL draft, people were talking about Richardson as if he would be a long-term project, something that you develop over time. But now he's getting this opportunity right in front of him. He's trying to be humble. Maybe he's a little nervous, but if the Colts really try to get the best out of him as a runner, if they do not try to force him to be something he's not, try to force him to make too many throws when really that's not his MO right now, if they utilize Anthony Richardson's strengths, I think they could take on some teams in the AFC South. They could definitely take care of the Houston Texans, catch the Jaguars or the Tennessee Titans slipping, and maybe you might find Jim Irsay, even though he's making some crazy tweets in the middle of the night, putting together a good roster and actually having a team that makes the wild card. Let me know in the comments below what you think the Colts are going to be this year. Do you believe in Shane Steichen? Do you believe in Anthony Richardson? Or do you think it's too early? Do you think they're making a big mistake rolling with a quarterback who's only played 15 games in college football? My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.